Welcome to the World Affairs Council of Austin's Teacher Professional Development video, focused on the world-class schools model. The World Affairs Council of Austin teaching model is built on 4 pillars: a global framework for international standards, deep collaboration, integrated learning blending individual and group focus, and modern design suited for the global classroom. Historically, U.S. educational expansion, driven by manifest destiny, tied schooling to national growth and assimilation. This created a legacy system focused on reinforcing a unified national identity that is now outdated. Pre-World War II education was highly individual-based, focusing on independent work, rote memorization, and compliance testing to prepare disciplined industrial workers. The post-World War II baby boom caused a massive population increase and suburban growth. Funding focused disproportionately on new suburban districts, leading to structural inequality as urban schools were disinvested. Overcrowded schools, sometimes resorting to half-day sessions, necessitated a shift to group learning. This collaborative shift fundamentally changed the social dynamic of the classroom to manage large class sizes. Urban sprawl created a wealth concentration problem by tying educational budgets to local property taxes. This led to widening resource gaps between suburban districts and under-resourced urban schools, hollowing out cities. Group learning became the norm, emphasizing collaboration and teamwork over individual mastery. However, assessment models remained static, focusing on individual results, creating friction with the new instructional methods. The problem lies in the tension between demanding group work and assigning individual grades. This misalignment rewards compliance over collective contribution, creating friction in evaluation and learning. The rise of high-stakes testing made standardized success the primary metric. This narrowed the curriculum, marginalizing arts and humanities, resulting in reduced teacher autonomy and increased student anxiety. The old system no longer works because it is based on a 1950s workforce model and ignores global literacy needs. It fails to address educide, leading to student disengagement and a profound need for meaningful, purposeful learning. Educide manifests as the systemic removal of traditional knowledge, leading to an erasure of cultural memory and a loss of continuity. This results in fragmented narratives, demanding a rebuilding mandate from educators. In classrooms, educide appears as a lack of global context and confusion about identity. This broken temporal connection leaves students rootless and highly vulnerable to misinformation and biased narratives. Teachers must lead reconstruction because curriculum alone cannot repair the historical gaps. They shape trusted narratives, providing guided clarity to students navigating complex identities and influencing culture and retention of ancestral knowledge. The emotional impact on students includes global confusion, identity struggles, and a sense of disconnection. This fuels a strong desire for meaning beyond disconnected learning. Educide matters for professional development because it addresses narrative gaps, moving beyond Eurocentric views to embrace global frameworks. It restores continuity by linking students to community wisdom and transforms classrooms into truth centers. The teacher serves as a counter-narrative builder, actively reintegrating suppressed knowledge. This empowers students to question narratives, building intellectual resilience and establishing global truth links to human history. The teacher is also a cultural architect. They shape learning by establishing foundational values, recognizing that students need belonging. This creates an emotional climate where culture precedes content for academic success. The world-class schools model rests on 4 pillars: global literacy, simulation-based learning, narrative clarity, and positive culture building. These create a comprehensive and identity-affirming educational environment. Global literacy matters because students need to understand world systems and local global linkages. This prepares them for workforce readiness and fulfills their desire for academic relevance by connecting learning to the wider world. Simulation-based learning means students learn by doing, applying knowledge through action. This builds critical thinking skills by requiring rapid synthesis and real-world decisions, which significantly increases engagement. Narrative-driven instruction uses the power of story in learning. Students remember stories that build their identity and provide meaning. This process counters educide by protecting and reviving marginalized knowledge systems. Culture-first teaching is the foundational layer of pedagogy. Safety drives learning and consistent routines build trust. Academic achievement is a natural byproduct, supported by the teacher's authentic emotional energy. Traditional professional development failed because it focused on compliance and ignored global literacy. It treated teachers as passive recipients of information and never addressed the complex realities of classroom challenges. Modern PD must be interactive, globally informed, and simulation-based. It must be teacher-centered, honoring educators as active architects and experts in their own learning journey. The teacher acts as a global interpreter, translating world events for students and providing clarity amid digital misinformation. This builds student confidence and anchors learning in truth and historical accuracy. The teacher is also an emotional steward. They acknowledge that students carry global stress and model calm as an anchor. Safety drives learning, and empathy is considered a core instructional skill. Week 1 focuses on local collaboration. Monday introduces the global problem, assigns roles, and establishes high expectations before starting individual thinking. Tuesday involves guided practice, where the teacher models skills and workflows. Students engage in hands-on practice with scaffolding, establishing immediate feedback loops and a collaboration base. Wednesday introduces small group peer review. Students engage in structured critique, fostering peer accountability, and developing communication skills necessary for iterative revision. Thursday is dedicated to groupthink and role-play. Students test ideas, practice diplomacy by navigating complex dynamics, and engage in structured scenarios to prepare for presentations. On Friday, students practice class presentations, deliver preliminary findings, and receive expert feedback from the teacher. They refine their arguments, adapting their messaging for the upcoming global audience. Week 1 concludes with major outcomes, including cross-country readiness and full clarity on the project assignment. Students demonstrate communication mastery and increased academic confidence for the international phase. Week 2 begins with international collaboration, starting Monday with individual work and teacher monitoring. Students refine their work, the teacher checks readiness, and the focus is on clarity before preparing for global groups. Tuesday features guided practice, led by a partner teacher from the opposite country. This exposes students to new teaching styles, builds cross-cultural skills, and expands their academic exposure. Wednesday involves small groups with the partner country for true international collaboration. Students exchange perspectives, develop global teamwork skills, and practice diplomacy to reach consensus. Thursday culminates in formal presentations. Students present to global peers, receive international feedback, and master professional communication to build confidence in synthesizing complex research. Friday concludes the week with debates and simulations, including International Court of Justice simulations, moot court arguments, and Model UN debates, fostering global problem-solving skills. This model works by removing geographic limitations, meaning education is no longer restricted by location, funding, or local resources. The world truly becomes the classroom. The world-class schools model builds essential 2030 workforce skills, such as collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. It also develops cultural intelligence vital for the global professional landscape. The curriculum becomes meaningful by connecting learning to global relevance and student identity. This purposeful learning fosters a deep understanding of the world. This model outperforms traditional schooling by replacing outdated models and providing essential global context. It utilizes modern teaching tools, leading to superior delivery and measurable student growth. The long-term impact is profound. It cultivates global citizens and global leaders, fostering world-class institutions and increasing global awareness in communities. Thank you for transforming education. Remember, no longer limited by surroundings, the world is your classroom.